came here to win a game. How important was it for you to do this at home with the records?
You know, it was great. You know, especially doing it in front of my hometown. You know, I appreciate that a lot. You know, there's nothing like playing in front of your hometown. You know, and actually accomplish the feat of breaking a record with someone like Molden. I mean, that's a great accomplishment. You know, I wish I could have got all three. I wouldn't have to talk about it no more. You know, for the rest of the season. But you know, I guess I'm gonna be asked again this upcoming weekend. I'm looking forward to breaking the record. But as long as we get the victory, that's all I care about.
Hey Bob, the kicking game tends to have such a huge impact, in the outcome of these games in arena football. Talk a little bit about how the third quarter kick by Salerno that bounced off the arm. What kind of an impact did that have on the momentum?
I mean, it's huge. I think it was a turning point in the game. I mean, I thought we struggled early with our kickoff coverage. You know, we had a little talk, changed some things up at halftime, and those guys went down there and flew down there and made some plays. So, I mean, I think that's the big turning point of the game with those guys going down there and having a will to win it and making it happen. So, we just got to continue to get better. We got a tough matchup next week.
You like the way you got to the quarterback right off the bat?
Yeah, I mean, I thought Xavier right here did a great job early getting after it. I thought they all did a great job for the most part of the game. I mean, again, Coach Wonchie came up with a great scheme later in the game to try and slow down our rush. And, again, you see later in the game that we were able to get after him again. So, we just got to continue to work hard and continue to work our pass rush.
How much of that did you stress, especially after Iowa's performance last week in San Jose?
You know, we stress it every week. You know, I think these guys work hard in practice and continue to work their moves and the things that we work on with tight rush lanes. You know, the nose guard staying 6 inches either way going up the field. And we don't want these guys to get wide and allow the quarterbacks on the other side to either find windows or take off and run. So, we'll continue to stress it throughout the season until we start averaging 10 sacks a game.
What time management you had? Go ahead.
It seems like with the speed of this league, pass rushing is one of the more difficult things to do. How have you been able to get used to that? And what's sort of the key?
The key was my coaching. They helped me out a lot. I was so used to 5-step drops that from outside bowl that it was hard to transition. But with Bob and Coach House, they helped me out a lot, and it's all because of them. They stayed with me after the practice. They went over drills, and I appreciate that, and that's what helped me out.
Coach, you made that gutsy call with the 2-point conversion late in the game. Had you not converted that, what would have been the game plan from that point?
We're still up 2 scores. I mean, we're still up 2 scores. You think about it. I was heckled by a player that's sitting at this table for doing it, but it paid dividends in the end. I mean, the way we were stopped late. I mean, it could have came back and helped us. It was just something maybe we show. Now Arizona's got to think about things, and we got something planned next week from different extra points and fakes. So, I'm not worried about it. It helped us out. Maybe it was another momentum change, but we just showed it and it worked for us, and I thought it was really executed well.
Ross, you had back-to-back long passes. What did you see in those plays?
They had a good plan for us. Early in the first half, they knew what they wanted to do, and they came out and executed pretty well. We came in at halftime and basically put a couple of route conversions, sighted conversions for the S on both cases, and we went out there and executed. We got the look that we had seen early in the game, and were able to hit them both. And everybody in this room's heard me say over and over that this group of receivers is great at that. We walk in, we talk about something, and we go out and execute it, and it makes the game so much easier and so much fun too. I can't tell you how many times in my life you've worked with guys that you try and talk them through something, and you get a head nod, and then they go out there and can't do it. Just physically can't. You can't see it and react. And that's not the case with this group. All 4 of them learn on the run, and it's going to make us tough to beat. Because people will not be able to stick with what they're trying to do, because we will be able to have an answer for it.
Is Luke the goal line quarterback?
You're just in a certain package formation. We go our big package. Luke's the way he's built and how tough he runs.
You can say it. I'm soft out there.
He looks like a linebacker at quarterback. Out running back, he goes out well. It's also another thing. No reason to get Russ dinged up when we don't have to run the ball. You never know what happens. His ankle gets twisted, falls on something wrong. So it's just Russ has been doing a great job. Luke's been doing a great job for us on the goal line. Made a great read tonight, flipped that ball out that came over to score. So he's been doing a great job for us, and we've been successful with that.
How many weeks have you been doing that for?
I think we've been doing it ever since Luke got here. Probably this is our 4th week now. So, I mean, Luke's a good quarterback. He's a competitor, and I don't think the kid stays after practice, continues to try and get better and work. And he's going to be a great one once he gets his shot.
Reggie, how good is it for you to have other guys step up like Terrence and Jared, and just come in and get a couple of touchdowns and take the pressure off you a little bit, knowing that you can score any time, but knowing that Russ can go to different guys and maybe give you a playoff or two?
I mean, I feel great about it. I mean, I've said it, to people out here, that the group of receivers is great. I don't have to do, as much as I did last year. I can sit back and these guys go out there and do more than I can do. And then, I mean, it feels great to pull coverage and guys get wide open and make plays. I was excited tonight. I'm running and I see 2 guys going with me. I'm just jumping like I know someone's wide open, and them guys are, they're smart enough to sit in zones and be wide open. I know Jared Perry did it one time, and I was ecstatic afterwards. And it feels good to have receivers that learned the game the way that they did so quickly and go out there and perform week in and week out.
Russ, there was some drop passes at the beginning of the game. How did you manage to keep the huddle together despite that?
That's going to happen. Like I said, I thought they had a good scheme for us, and those weren't easy pitch and catch. We're thrown into tight windows, and like I said, they had a great scheme. I really thought early on, and luckily they stayed with it long enough for us to combat it and have a little success with it. And drop balls are going to happen, especially like I said when we're thrown into windows like that. This is a condensed field with guys all around you. As long as we continue to, see what's happening and adjust on the run, we'll be just fine.
Next 2 weeks on the road out west, not been favorable for the Rush history-wise. And you see these 2 road games as a key moment in the season for you guys. I know you're looking to keep the division, but being on the road for 2 games against Arizona and San Jose, how big of a swing is this for you guys? I
mean, it's huge. We're playing against the 2 of the top teams in the league right now. I mean, Arizona's always a tough place to play. They got great fans out there. The biggest thing that I'm concerned about is we haven't played well on the road right now. I mean, if you look at our first few games on the road right now, we haven't played well. We're actually, I think, 1-2 right now on the road. We got to learn how to play well. Go out there and execute and not make mistakes. We start making mistakes against good teams like that. We'll get kicked out of the building quick. So we just got to go out and work hard. These guys know what's in store for us. Next week in Arizona, then they got a little bye week and a rest, and they can come back for San Jose. But we got to go out there and practice hard next week and be prepared for a very, very tough opponent in Arizona.
Back to the Luke thing for a second. There are obviously roster limitations in this league. How much are you challenged as a coach to kind of find ways to use different guys and maximize the numbers you have?
The good thing is we got versatility in a lot of our positions. I mean, you guys have already seen it earlier in the season where Reggie's had to go out there and play DB. Marquise has gone in to play Jack. I think we could pull Vic Haller came over to play wide receiver. It's the way the game is. I think that's what makes the game so interesting and so much fun is that, when situations happen like that, you got to have guys step up. And I think we have 24 guys that are willing to step up in any position possible. I mean, we've seen Luke go down and cover some kicks last week. So, we got guys that want to continue to play hard are the guys in our building, and hopefully we'll continue to be successful.
Next, talk about some of the changes that have been made on the defensive line. First 7 games, not a whole lot going on. Last 2 weeks, you pressured Garcia into 2 interceptions, a lot of pressure on JJ. What's been different the last 2 weeks?
We've been over repetition of going after the quarterback every day during practice, working on our pass rush moves continuously. The confidence boost by our coaches to make us get to the quarterback, and how important it is for in this league to get there, because it is offensive league, so we need to get there to change the way the game is played. So we understand that as a D-line, and we just get after it, keep going, and that's the difference between before and after now, because we understand the importance of getting turnovers. So we bring our eyes back and get out the quarterback.
Russ, so many of these games go back and forth scoring-wise. What type of pressure does that put on your offense to make sure you convert?
I I mean, that's expected. You walk on the field expecting to score, you know, and it's a disappointment when you don't. You know, the possession before the half was really disappointing. You know, you can't. That was a huge mistake by me, allowing the motion to go offsides. You know, puts us in a bad situation. Luckily, you know, our defense went out and helped us overcome. But you know, there's weeks where that you can't overcome simple mistakes like that. But that's the name of the game. You know, the league's built that way. That's what makes it fun too. You know, we're out here to score and do it as intelligently as we can, and that's what's been fun. We're scheming, we're putting in route adjustments, we're doing a lot of things with this group that we haven't been able to do in the past, and you know, hopefully it's just going to continue to take off.
Coach, you struggled a little bit to run off the clock at the end. Kelvin ended up getting pushed into the end zone for a safety. What was the issue at that point when trying to run off the clock?
You know, they were pinching hard at the end, trying to take. They figured we were going to sneak and continue to do that. We've been successful. I scored a touchdown earlier with it. Now, it was my call again, going with the toss, thinking they were going to pinch down hard, which they did. You know, unfortunately, we just missed their jack linebacker, and the guy made a play on him. So, you know, we just got to continue to work in practice. I thought we had again, good play call that was called, and you know, the guys were upset that he missed the block and didn't get the safety, and they got the safety. But most important thing is we got the W, and you know, we're 6-2.
The end of the game last week, end of the first half. Today, you left some points, some timeouts on the board. Are those learning experiences for you guys going forward?
They're a learning experience, but you know, it's just the nature of this game. I mean, those guys get paid on the other side too to make plays. You know, we're not going to make every play. I thought before the half today, 6 seconds left, we were in the same situation we were last week. This time it worked out for us. We were able to get a little closer and kick the field goal, and it was good. That's what our plan was for last week. It didn't work out that way, and you know, we learned from last week, and we got better when we were able to do it this week. So, again, we got a great team over there in Iowa. They're well coached. They went out there and played hard, and you know, with the way these guys played today, that's sitting in front of me. You know, we should have won that football game. That we did everything right. We protected the football and got after the quarterback.
And having those two timeouts prior to those 6 seconds, do you regret not using any of those?
Last week?
Today?
No, not at all. I mean, that's our game plan. We've been very good. I mean, you talk to these guys right here. We work on situations during our walkthrough, how situations go, timeouts, and what's left and what we're down. So we practice that every week. We practice on working down the clock and not giving that team the other possession. It worked out again for us. We knew coming out we had the ball, so all we want to do is put on points. And we got the field goal no matter what. We came out, we scored, and we were, again, leading the game. So that could have been the difference in this game, but it worked out to our benefit. We put points up. That's all that matters.
Xavier, their offensive line got called for a lot of holding penalties, particularly in the second half. Was that a product of the rush you were putting on, or the officials were finally catching up with what was going on the whole game?
That's definitely it. Officials, they let a lot of stuff go, so we just gotta keep rushing and running and running and running. You know, so we're gonna get hold every play. You know, I feel that we're a very talented line, and so if they have an interest with the whole, like today, there was a lot of cutting going on. You know, it kind of slowed me down, but I was still able to get some QB hurries. And, you know, we just got to learn how to get past those holdings, get the hands away. Again, back to practice every day, what we roll, every day repetition. And that's all we need is just to keep practicing, practice hard, and come out for the game.
You guys doing a lot of complaining on the field?
No, we don't want to complain, because you complain, you just make the rest of that, and then they really won't call. So, you know, you just be humble and just keep playing, keep going after the ball, and do what your job is.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you.